Kare here, live on scene at the border fire. Over 175 firefighters fight to keep this fire right behind me contained.
This week, Michelle's gonna try and anchor the live local news. In front of San Diegans, tens of thousands of people are gonna be hanging on every word she says.
There's breaking news happening right now.
Earlier this year, California experienced some of the most devastating wildfires in its history.
3 major wildfires are burning out of control in Los Angeles.
24 people are dead, thousands of homes destroyed.
And during the filming of this episode, we were there when one of the first of those fires broke out.
Everything is happening out here. The wind is blowing. This is crazy.
This week on Challenge Accepted, I'm joining the news team at CBS 8 to see what it takes to produce a broadcast for 30,000 live viewers. From desk anchoring to meteorology.
I ran out of time. I've been in a commercial.
To field reporting live on scene at a wildfire.
Alrighty, here we go. Stand by. Ready, 3, 2, 1. Live.
Challenge accepted.
They're actually right now 5 minutes away from going live for the 11 a.m. news. All things considered, everyone is very calm considering we're about to go live in just a few minutes. Wait, there's breaking news happening right now?
They have just found the shooter in the CEO Healthcare shooting last week.
Oh my God.
The entire top of the show is changing.
Breaking news. You don't know what's gonna happen. At home, you see a news anchor giving you fluid information. That's not how it always goes.
All right, we got about 15 seconds. Camera 1's gonna move.
Sometimes I'll look up and there's nothing in the teleprompter. All we know is that there's a shooting. And they say, Erik, go.
Stand by, Erik. Cue.
So glad you're with us here on this Monday, everybody. I'm Erik Kanhert.
And I'm Neda Iranpour. Let's move now to our top local story here.
We're following breaking news. New York City police saying they have a suspect in custody in the killing of United Healthcare's CEO. The world is falling apart around you, and there is complete chaos. You're there to make sure that the train keeps going down the track smoothly. NYPD says this strong person of interest is 26-year-old Luigi Mangione.
We'll be sure to bring you the very latest updates throughout the day.
Well, thanks, guys. That was great.
And for Michelle's final challenge, she's going to sit next to me as my co-anchor. She's going to do the news live in front of San Diegans. Tens of thousands of people are going to be hanging on every word she says. But first up, I gotta fill her in on some key points. Hi, Michelle. How are you?
Nice to meet you. I'm Michelle.
Nice to meet you. We both got the blue blazer thing going.
We're matching.
That's the sign of a good anchor team right there.
This is incredible. There is so much happening here. The lighting setup is amazing.
Yeah.
Your skin looks amazing.
Oh, well, there's a little war paint on here, too.
Oh, my.
That's how we call it. So this is the studio. This is where it's all happening. Our weather center over here, the main set here. We have the pano over here.
Wow. Oh, my gosh.
So you ready to be a news anchor?
I mean, you tell me.
And the first step to becoming a news anchor is learning how to manage the infamous teleprompter.
All right, so this is where you'll sit in this seat right here, and this is my seat. It has to be that way because they already have the show formatted as to who's gonna be in what shot and which chair and everything, and your name's gonna pop up on the lower part of the screen here.
I'm gonna have a lower
third? Yeah, I think so.
Oh my God!
She knows, you know what lower thirds are?
Yes!
Boom! When you're sitting here, you ready for it? The driver's pedal. See it down there?
What?
Yep, we're gonna be driving the prompter. Did you press on it yet?
Oh, it's a very sensitive touch.
Yeah, you can go very quickly and you can go as slow as you want. So when we're at the desk, that frees up our hands. And the reason that's important is because we use our hands when we talk because it feels more natural that way. And if the show is to open, you know, I'd say, hi everyone, I'm Erik Kanhert. Welcome to your Monday morning. Sure hope you had a really nice weekend. And then you would say your name. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm Michelle Kare. I mean, that's already bad. Do that again. Hey, I'm Michelle Kare.
Perfect.
And today's my first day on the job.
Boom, there we go. See, now the 3 keys I think to news anchoring. You ready for them? Credible.
Credible.
You gotta be credible. You gotta be informed. You gotta be informed and you have to be authentic.
Credible, informed, authentic.
Yeah.
CIA.
See, that's how you remember it.
Should we practice?
Okay, you ready to practice a little bit?
Using this teleprompter.
Just remember, the teleprompter is not the show. It's just a guide. If you don't like the way something's written or is said on there, you can just change it how you want to change it so that
In the
you're
moment.
more authentic. I think what people think is that news anchors just are teleprompter readers. That is a very small portion of our job. And if we stuck to the teleprompter all the time, we'd be in big trouble.
The White House Reception Committee greeted the prime rib roast minister, and I like-a do da cha-cha.
Oftentimes it'll say, we're going to breaking news now of a fire, and that's it.
So the prompter's changing as the show's going.
Absolutely. Okay, you ready to do it?
Yeah.
here
Okay,
we
so
go.
one step at a time with the prompter.
We'll start with
Where do I
just
look?
reading the prompter to start.
Okay.
This is CBS 8 News Live at 11.
All right, you're on. 30,000 people watching. Here we go. I'll take it from here, Michelle.
Merriam-Webster has named polarization as the 2024 word of the year. Let me do that again. I'm doing it in. This is my rehearsal. Okay, here we go.
Is this it right here? Okay, here we go. Oh, you can't laugh during it.
Oh, no laughing.
Especially with this word, polarization.
Okay, here we go.
This is so ridiculous.
You can't have
Okay,
the giggles
I know.
on live TV, Michelle.
Gotta be serious. Okay.
All right.
Merriam-Webster has named polarization the 2024 word of the year. Polarization means a division into two distinctly sharp objects. Oh God, no, wait, that is totally wrong.
Even if that happens, it's live. You gotta you just gotta laugh. I'm sorry. Let me say that again.
Okay.
Just people at home will be like, okay.
Okay, I completely lost my place. So it was like my
got
face
you.
in
I
the
got you.
ticker underneath says polarization named word of the year. What the heck?
Okay.
Merriam-Webster has named polarization the 2024 word of the year. Polarization means a division into two sharply distinct opposites.
Polarization, I think we heard that quite a bit during the elections.
Yes.
Don't you think?
Woo!
Fortnite, also a popular one. Uh-oh, your IFB just popped out. We are having technical difficulties up here, folks. It's okay. I think the biggest obstacle for Michelle is just to be herself. Easier said than done, because you're taking all of these facets of journalism, and then you understand that on the other side, there's 20, 30,000 people that are listening to every single word, and there's no redo. I think with experience, you're able to take all of that in those critical, tough moments and still be relatable, still be the person that's having that conversation with you in your living room.
Okay, you know what you guys have that I need to improve? I feel like there's a news anchor voice or
Really?
cadence. Like you guys can command.
I
like,
think it's confidence. It's a confidence command.
like I feel like me saying, hey, the weather is here versus like the weather tonight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think getting back to that authentic thing, I think the beginning, news anchors want to feel like they've got to talk like this and be a little more robotic and be super overly commanding, which actually has the reverse effect. They're either trying too hard, they're not comfortable, they're not confident. We don't want to have news anchor voice. We want to have Michelle and Erik's voice.
Okay, I like that.
Okay. You ready for live TV?
I'm gonna review the prompter a few more times.
We can do this. Let's
can.
do it. My co-anchor. Let's do it.
Wait, that sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Is there a secret handshake when you're co-anchors with somebody?
We can make one. What do you want to do? Ready? Breaking news.
And for my final challenge, I will be co-anchoring the news with Erik live. But what I didn't tell Erik is that I will be going off script. And in front of 30,000 San Diegans, I will be revealing my secret mission.
This week marks our 7th episode that we are filming here in San Diego. And my plan here is to capture a story so good, it catches the attention of the mayor of San Diego. And perhaps he presents me with a key to the city. Is it a literal key? And if it is, what does it open? A key to the city is a symbolic award given by a city to an esteemed individual that is presented to people who have made significant contributions to the city. Some notable recipients, Alex Morgan, soccer legend, Taylor Swift, and the Beatles. I think with all of the episodes we have made here in San Diego, one might argue we have made a positive and friendship-like impact.
But for all of this to work, I need CBS 8 to think I'm actually good enough to go live in the first place, which takes us next to learning the weather.
Michelle, come on in here. This is where the magic happens. This is our green screen. I know, you can see
We're
yourself
already here.
on the air. My name is Noorani, and I'm a reporter and meteorologist at CBS 8. I'm gonna be handing over my precious remote so that Michelle can take the reins over and try a forecast for herself. The simplest way to break it down is it is a PowerPoint presentation. So that center button right here is gonna change like advanced graphics, so click it there. And look at that. Now you have visibility.
Oh, it is backwards.
Yes, so you need to flip yourself around accordingly. So if you come over here and look that way, you can point to the numbers.
So it looks like I'm looking at the green screen, but I'm actually like cheating looking at this.
You can also walk up and back, but remember your headroom.
Could we do something like, surprise!
That's how I'm sure there's like a green sheet somewhere to utilize. You can press play.
As you can see, we have a big H coming in. Back to you.
That's it. That's all. Well, press the play button again.
Okay. And now an L.
So the L is, can I tell you or do you want to?
The L,
what I'll tell you is this is a pressure map.
High pressure.
There we go.
And low pressure.
Exactly. There's a lot of layers to it, a lot of data that we kind of comb through. It's gonna be Michelle's job to look at all the data and decide what people need to know as they head out the door.
So in contrast to desk anchoring, you're improvising based on whatever graphics come through.
Yeah, 2 minutes.
You have nothing on the teleprompter.
No. So it's literally choke-worthy.
Who makes these graphics?
Me. So,
what?
Yeah, I can adjust the font, the color of everything, the arrows that you see that are moving.
So you make all of this before the broadcast?
Or during.
You make graphics during the commercial break?
Yeah.
So should I do a practice?
You want to?
2 minute?
See that 0-0 on the bottom right? Kaz is gonna set a timer for 1:30. That timer is what we call a hard out, meaning when that timer hits 0, we automatically go to break. Because people get really angry if you do not mention their town. So think about if you're given 2 minutes and you're asked to touch on every single one of those cities, it's an added challenge. Someone in Fallbrook called today and said that they hated my forecast or were so mad at me for something. I remember there was one time where it was a warm stretch of weather and I was saying every day, I was like, it's getting toasty out there. And there were this happens every day, viewers writing in being like, he needs to stop saying toasty.
People pick up the phone and type a message and submit that, saying he's saying toasty too much?
They call, they email, they physically write letters, everything.
Now I'm nervous. I'm nervous that people are gonna call in upset about me.
They might.
So for this practice run, I have 90 seconds to deliver all the weather, to make sure all of the small towns are also covered, and make sure that I cleanly go to commercial.
Yeah,
Cool.
so that time
Here
we'll
we
start
go.
counting down. Stand by.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. Can we try that again?
Yes.
Hey, my name is Michelle. I'm not a meteorologist, but I'm gonna do my best today. So, in the city of San Diego, you guys live here, you know, it's always a day like this, beautiful, sunny outside. Not this week. Let me tell you, we've got some drama in the weather. You wouldn't believe it. Click. Outside, you know, we have a lot of visibility. There are 10 miles. There are 10 miles out here. And we have some high pressure followed by some low pressure coming in. And you can see with these ridge lines, what that means is when the pressure changes, there's gonna be rain. Oh my God, this is crazy. Okay, I will be better on Wednesday, I promise. Okay, lastly, coming into the wind gust, which also pertains to our red zone area.
Time.
Oh my God, I hit the time.
So you've been in
I ran out of
commercial
time.
for
I've been in a
like
commercial.
20 seconds.
And they didn't even hear about the wind gusts.
Okay, Michelle, it was a good start.
Okay.
But for your final challenge, the biggest emphasis is that you do it in 90 seconds. We're gonna start it from the top.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay,
The news
perfect.
doesn't wait.
Exactly.
Neither do I.
Okay. We're on in 3, 2.
Good morning, San Diego. I'm Michelle Carre, and this just in, I'm hearing we've got a severe business inefficiency warning. Let's take a look at the radar. So for the folks in Ramona, you may be at risk of using old and outdated business management software, but there is hope on the horizon because Odoo is the sponsor of today's episode.
Is she just going rogue?
Odoo is an all-in-one business management platform bringing clear skies to accounting, inventory, and even website building.
Does anyone know where she's getting these graphics from?
Just look at that beautiful 5-day forecast, sunny with a 100% chance of efficiency. No more juggling multiple apps, just one streamlined system to keep your business simple.
30 seconds left.
And for those of you worried about the high-pressure system of building a website, forget it, because Odoo's website builder lets you create a sleek, professional website in just a few clicks. It even includes hosting and a custom domain for an entire year.
She's going pretty fast here. 20 seconds left.
So if you at home are interested in watching exclusive deleted scenes from Challenge Accepted, you can watch them too on our super secret Odoo built website below. So if your business is caught in the storm, don't wait. Click a link in the description and you can start your free 14-day trial today. No credit card required. And thanks to Odoo for sponsoring today's episode. Now remember, stay prepared, stay organized, and stay classy, San Diego. How was that?
I have no idea what that was. I like the ending.
You have some prizes for me. I got some surprises for you, Evan.
I mean, you made it in the 90 seconds, so you kind of did what I asked.
Really? Hey, here we go. Well, thank you so much.
Of course, thank you. How do you feel?
Yeah, my homework is to do a lot more research before I'm delivering
She's
it to
gonna
the
become a
city
meteorologist in a matter of hours. I think you can do it.
My name is Shannon Handy. I'm a news reporter at CBS 8, and this week, I'm gonna train Michelle on how to be a reporter. And she's gonna come to our editorial meeting, and what that meeting is, it's a gathering of reporters, anchors, producers.
Top search today, power outages, San Diego wind, red flag warning. But two other things of note is our suspect in the United Healthcare CEO killing, and Jamie Foxx. He had a Netflix special that came out.
We as reporters are expected to pitch stories. So we're gonna treat Michelle like any other reporter. We are going to expect her to collaborate and bring her ideas.
Michelle, part of this meeting is being put on the spot.
Yes, ma'am.
So now I'm gonna put you on the spot. What story ideas are you pitching for yourself today?
And just like every other reporter, my story has to be intriguing and relevant enough to be greenlit. Okay, so I was curious specifically for the take of the fires. Something that's very interesting to me when we did Fire Academy for an episode of Challenge Accepted is there's a huge difference for the experience of the firefighter when it comes to a structure fire versus a wildfire. Not only what they wear and how they approach it, but also the risk for that person. One idea I had was to physically show the difference between the gear that they wear in a structure fire versus out in the wildlands.
Which is more dangerous, wildfires?
Yes, yes.
Wildfires versus house fires, like physically showing me the outfits that you have to wear and how it's different going in. And I don't think we've ever done that story.
I think too we can get CAL FIRE to help you out with that. So that would be one you could turn
I'm
this
just
morning.
texting the PIO. Yeah.
Okay.
I texted him, and then when we're done, I'll give him a call and see if maybe he can give us access to something.
Yeah, I'm also thinking I could probably also reach out to the PIOs of lifeguards and
Sure.
STPD and even sanitation and be like, maybe we can.
He said sure.
Oh, okay, great.
He said
Well,
sure. This is about 20, 25 minutes inland.
Well, let's go. You guys
Yeah.
got a 4 o'clock. So
We've got to wrap this up, so let's get you on the road.
With my story officially greenlit, I was then paired with a seasoned veteran cameraman to capture our story. Together, Kenny and I have to write, shoot, and edit our entire story in just 6 hours.
Okay, so we're gonna go upstairs and get you fire gear right now because there's a good possibility on a day like today, we are going to encounter maybe a big brush fire.
You have to expect the unexpected. When we get our story assignments and we show up to a scene, it's common where we get a call because something else has happened and we have to pivot.
Oh my gosh, you guys just have a stash of fire gear in case?
And there's a lot of things, especially with news, that we have to be prepared for. Like in my car, I have fire gear, rain gear, riot gear, gas masks, bulletproof vests. I have all these different things.
Okay. We're turning scanners on.
These are police scanners.
Yeah, police, fire. I personally like to know where I'm going, what I'm going into, either areas to go to or areas to stay away from. So, especially if it's an active shooter situation. Okay, shall we get going?
But as we were heading out to meet with our contact, we got word that a pretty serious wildfire had just broken out nearby. We're changing course and going straight to the fire.
Exactly. Can't predict the news.
And because we happen to be the closest news crew to the fire, we will be the first crew on the scene, meaning we have no idea how big the fire is, how dangerous the conditions are, or what exactly we are walking into.
As I look out over the horizon and I look at this brown haze and you can start to see a little bit of it, That's a fire somewhere that's dissipating through the atmosphere. See how brown it is out there?
When I think of first responders, I think of police department, fire department. But what's interesting is what y'all are doing is also a response service in a way to educate the community on what's going on, especially on a day like today when people's homes and jobs and lives could be at risk by these potential fires that are coming.
Local news is great because we're the ones in the community that are going out, digging up the stories, talking to local people about how they feel, telling the stories that impact your everyday life. When it comes to a fire, we're there for you. We're talking about evacuations. We're trying to get your family out safely. This may not be even mentioned in network news. For us, we're invested in our community. In many cases, these are the communities where we live. These are our neighbors. We are the voice of the people in that situation. We are sometimes the first voice they hear on what steps they should be taking to keep their family safe.
3 major wildfires are burning out of control in Los Angeles, fueled by powerful Santa Ana winds.
When the larger LA fires broke out a few weeks later, I was glued to the local news, watching to see if our neighborhood was going to be evacuated. Even when we were scrolling social media for updates, those posts and tweets are actually sourced from local news. And that's because they are the ones who are first on the scene.
Michelle is just gonna have a few hours to get to the scene, do her interviews, log those interviews, write her story, edit her story, and then present it live on the air.
And this story will be a pre-recorded segment that I will have to present live on the evening news.
So what we first do when we get out here is make contact with our contact. Let's ask him about everything. Acreage, any evacuation orders in effect, your idea with, talking about the difference between fighting this versus, say, a house fire. So ask him everything across the board.
Okay, great. Awesome. We're teamwork.
Yeah. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Oh, let's attack.
Attack?
Okay, I'm rolling.
Amazing. What's going on today?
We have a 40-acre vegetation fire on the northwest side of Tecate Peak. We're currently at 0% contained.
What is the difference between fighting a structure fire versus something like this?
A structure fire, a house is usually a box. Usually you can keep the fire contained to that structure. In this environment, we're on a hillside, and that fire is not contained to a box, and then we have to deal with the wind and the different weather effects.
What do people need to know right now about evacuating?
If you're in a zone under an evacuation order, that is time to leave right now.
And the one thing I was gonna add, not for the interview purposes, if you can do any visuals, like for example, show her the brush and the difference that's right there, or if you have anything in the back of your truck, it would help with your story, because that's kind of where you come in, is like showcasing, be more visual. I mean, that brush is a great example. If you want to walk over and show it,
Okay, I'm gonna be honest, the strategy here is extremely overwhelming because just move fast and capture something. This is very different from how we shoot Challenge Accepted typically. Also, interviewing for news versus Challenge Accepted is totally different. I find myself trying to struggle to sprint to keep up with everybody and make sure we get the right questions asked. So I'm learning all of those pieces as we go.
So basically, the interview that you did with the PIO, we're going to go over it. You're going to pull some sound bites, and then they'll start writing your story.
Great. Can we do that in the van?
Yeah, we'll do that in the van. Yeah. So when we do an interview, we ingest it in the computer. We often work in the vehicle, and then we log the interview, meaning we listen to the interview, we write out various sound bites. That's called logging.
And these sound bites will help me structure my 2-minute story, which needs to go live in just under 2 hours.
Okay, here's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
But what's amazing about our local San Diego firefighters is how they take totally different approaches given the obstacle in front of them than we're in reality.
A structure fire is going
because instead of going from his long soundbite to that, in
Break
between
it
I
up.
put your voice, I'd say, speaking of conditions, it hasn't rained since October. So you're kind of like setting him up for what he's about to say next, right?
And after taking an hour to finish writing the story with Shannon's feedback, I still have to record my lines of voiceover.
Today, the border fire called 175 firefighters to the scene. But what is amazing is how our fire department handles each situation uniquely.
And finally, with all of our media captured, it was time to start editing. Everything is coming down to the wire.
It's 3:11. I'm now running against the clock.
But there is so much left to do, such as balancing the audio.
The audio break between it is a little jarring. Can we leave the audio off?
But I can take it off, sure. See, the attention span for news is short. I make audio breaks at whoa, what was that?
Collaborating on the story.
Maybe we just end it on and it's not contained to a box.
And that fire is not contained to a box.
Cut.
You're thinking that.
And calling the studio to request additional footage that we couldn't capture on site.
So we're just curious if you might be able to lay on, when we submit our package to you, a bit of B-roll and just any general structure fire in a building.
I will have that standing by.
Perfect.
With the early heads up.
Thanks, Joel.
Alrighty, you guys are clear for about a minute 30.
You're going to be hearing the show in your ear, and then they're going to say, Michelle Carre is live on scene. Michelle. And right when they say that, as soon as you hear that in your ear, you start talking, and you're going to do your intro.
So that we don't have the awkward pause.
Exactly.
With only a few minutes before going live, Kenny and I have to create the entire live setup by ourselves.
Hey, it's Kenny. Hey, I'm on A Alpha. Yeah, I got Michelle here.
Hey there. Hi, nice to meet you.
Okay, appreciate it. Just want to make sure you see us.
We're about to go live on air right now. And I'm a bit nervous. Shannon said to me right before this, listen, it's live. And if you mess up, you messed up. I really want to get it right to make sure that the public feels informed and that they're up to date on what's going on with the fire in their backyard.
We're about 1 minute out, Michelle. 1 minute to air.
We're less than a minute. Less than a minute.
I know. It's fine. You're going to do great.
30 seconds.
Copy that.
This is just the cue that you're on. That's all.
Alrighty, here we go. Stand by. Live.
Welcome back to The Four. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Heather Myers. We've heard a lot today about the Santa Ana winds and how fires are impacting our communities. But how does a wildfire different from a structure fire when it comes to protection?
Yeah, and a couple of minutes ago, we told you about Michelle Carre of Challenge Accepted. She's taking on the job of a reporter today and is live on the scene to tell us more about what's going on with that fire risk. Michelle.
Hey, Carlo and Heather, Michelle Carre here, live on scene at the border fire, where for the past few hours we've had the immense privilege of getting to watch over 175 firefighters fight to keep this fire right behind me contained. And as you mentioned, something I was super curious about while we were out here was how these firefighters approach a structure or a house fire that we might encounter in the metropolis of San Diego versus something so out in the open here in these Santa Ana winds. Today, the border fire called 175 firefighters to the scene. But what is amazing is how our fire department handles each situation uniquely.
They're in your package. This is delayed. You're going to see yourself. That's what you look like live on TV.
That's me.
Yeah.
The structure fire is going to be a box. The house is usually a box, and there's 4 walls and a roof.
About a minute back.
In a structure fire, firefighters wear a heavy jacket like this and a respirator to breathe. But the wildland gear is far less protective.
In the REI soundbite.
All of this is why the men and women out here today are so brave to keep our communities safe. Last we heard from firefighting officials, the fire is 50% contained, but they will be working hard all throughout the night. Back to you.
Woo!
How do you feel?
Nice work.
Oh gosh, we did it. We did a field report. And it's amazing how we spend so many hours working on this, and then it's over.
Okay, so Dana is our boss. She said that was perfect, you guys. Tell Michelle, great job.
Oh my God.
Woo! You always want to impress the boss.
You want to go home happy too.
Yeah.
Because tomorrow we're going to do it again.
Oh my God.
And again and again and again.
She gets to do anchoring tomorrow.
Today, I am going to be anchoring the San Diego news. That's crazy. I can't believe they're letting me do this. I think some of the challenges this morning will be that I am learning all of the news as it's happening. I've also got to do the weather today, which was a bit challenging when I practiced, but I've just got to get it together. The news doesn't stop, and the news doesn't sleep.
That's your rundown. So you'll start on desk with Erik, and then once we're into weather, we'll have you get off desk so you can head into Studio A.
Today, the County Board of Supervisors is voting on whether or not to allow American Airlines to fly out of Palomar Airport.
Now, if approved, this would be the first time commercial flights fly out of the airport in 28 years.
And give me a mic check, Michelle.
Hey, my name is Michelle, and I'm so excited to be here.
I have her. She sounds good. Alrighty, we got 45.
Hi, Michelle. How are you? You ready?
Let's go ahead and get Michelle in that chair.
What's up?
Hey.
How are you?
I'm
You
so
ready
good.
for your debut?
Yes, sir.
About 10 seconds.
Gotta see our handshake.
Bam, bam.
Breaking news.
All right, stand by 2.
Have fun.
And cue Erik.
Welcome back. A red flag warning in San Diego is now expired, but thousands of people across the county are still feeling the impact. Thanks for being here. I'm Erik Kanhert.
And I'm Michelle Carre from Challenge Accepted. We have team coverage this morning. CBS 8's Regina Ureta is live in Ramona, where a second fire broke out in the same spot as yesterday. This comes as thousands are still in the area without power.
We do want to check in with meteorologist Evan Noorani, tracking the wind starting to die down a bit out there.
Yeah, finally noticing a reprieve from those dangerously intense easterly winds that we had yesterday.
Today, the County Board of Supervisors is voting on whether or not American Airlines can fly out of Palomar Airport.
Yeah, if this is approved here, this would be the first time commercial flights fly out of the airport in 28 years.
All right, you guys are clear for about 1:30.
Okay, cool.
Evan, you'll go stand next to Erik. You guys will chat, toss to weather.
We just ad-libbed this part, toss to weather. Why don't you be the one that comes up with the toss to weather?
So when they cut to us, I'll be like, Evan, we've got a lot going on.
All right, guys, 5 seconds. Stand by, open first. Go for it.
Well, it has been a crazy week for weather, as well as these fires that have been outbreaking. Yesterday, I was at the border fire reporting, and the winds were just so wild, I couldn't even keep anything straight.
Right?
Yeah. Can we expect more of that this week, Evan?
So those winds are dying down slowly, but it's taken some time today. So that red flag warning has finally expired. We are seeing that out of our hair.
All right, about 30 seconds. We'll do weather next.
So up next you have the green screen weather.
Okay.
That's coming up in the next.
Oh my God, this is gonna be the hardest part for sure. I haven't seen any of these graphics. I'm about to deliver the weather and I haven't even seen the graphics yet. And the lights are flickering. What's going on?
So you got one more hit. You gotta get the energy up.
Yeah.
5 more minutes and you'll be done with everything.
Okay, and it's one take.
One take. That's all you get. No recuts.
All righty, here we go. Stand by. I'll cue you when to talk. Open in. Cue Michelle.
Good morning, everybody. I am so excited to be taking over for Evan Noorani this morning to give you a live look at your weather for this week. Now, a lot of stuff we've been talking about this week has been related to these Santa Ana winds, which have been wild and crazy. But I have some good news. Those will be dying down this week. We have above normal temperatures with filtered sun today, but some also good news, we have a chance for showers.
I did see that, yeah.
Everybody has been asking us, when is the rain coming? And I have some good news. It is coming later this week. We've got a little bit of rain inbound, which is fantastic. Now, your 7-day forecast is also looking really nice. Today we have 69, low of 63 tomorrow, continuing through the week. So if you're planning to head outside, it's gonna be beautiful, it's great. I mean, let's be honest, it's San Diego.
When we were training for weather, Michelle's biggest struggle was going overtime. Now, Michelle has 30 seconds left. She's already to the last graphic, and she's got to come up with something to say.
Now, something I also want to mention to you guys is later this week we have some king tides heading in, which we'll be talking about later this week. Evan will give you all the details, which is something important for you to keep in mind if you are heading out to the beach. But for now, everything's looking great. Evan, anything else that I may have missed?
You're giving me a run for my money. You did a fantastic job. How'd it feel?
Oh gosh, this is incredible. The fact that you do this every day, fully improvised, is incredible. And thank you so much for keeping our communities informed with everything that's going on, especially this week with all of the crazy winds and fires.
That's right. All right, Neda, Erik, you're over in the studio. How would you rate it so far?
So very good. Informative, friendly, all the things.
Personable.
Yes, very nice.
She figured it all out.
You
so
never know.
Flying colors.
Well,
Great job.
I am promptly passing the keys back to
There you go, yes.
Thank you, everybody.
Good job, Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle. Great to have you
job.
and your
Wonderful job.
Thank you for everything.
But my time on air doesn't end here, because there is one more secret mission I have to announce live on the news.
Being here has been incredible, but I do have a secret mission.
Oh.
Can I tell you about the secret mission?
Yes, please. We love secrets.
I have a secret mission of one day finding out how to get a key to the city of San Diego.
San Diego's key.
From the mayor himself. So, Mayor, if you're watching, I'd love to know the protocol for obtaining a key to the city. I've heard that, for other cities, the key to the city is a sign of friendship. We love San Diego. It's a beautiful place here, so.
We do know that Mayor Todd Gloria does tend to watch our show a lot. So, yeah, maybe he's watching right now. We'll make sure this message gets to him. Either way, his people. Thank you so much. We will be right back after this break. Thank you. Yeah. The key to the city. I know. How are you going to get the key to the city?
Let's find out.
Who has the key to the city? The mayor must have.
Breaking news, this just in. I'm hearing through my ear that a lot of you watching this video aren't subscribed to the YouTube channel. So if you like what you see, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss more episodes like this one. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Challenge Accepted. And as always, San Diego, thanks for stopping by.